What is this metal press device? It came in a lot with camera parts, among other miscellaneous photography items. It's cast aluminum with Geneva on the top, perhaps something related to watches. About 4 by 6 by 4 inches, it's light for its size, and it doesn't have any rust, which makes me think it's aluminum. The side that screws together has 2 convex plates. The spring-loaded side is flat on both plates, and they are both lined with rubber. The other items it came with were all from the mid-1950s, so I would think it's from around that time period. A friend suggested it might be something for watches. Any ideas? It's a 1949 slide binder, made by the Geneva Manufacturing Company of Montrose, California. To protect transparencies from smearing, staining, or moisture damage, this slide binder has a device which allows the cover glass and image glass to rest on the base of binder to maintain exact alignment of edges while tape is being applied. It was sold for $5.75 in 1949. What are these items found in a garage in Vermont? Around 20 inches by 6 inches. The owner isn't sure of the material, but it appears to be ceramic. Have any of you seen this before? What you have are decorative parts of a round oak stove from the turn of the last century. They are cast iron, definitely not ceramic, missing their nickel plating. We have one on our round wood stove. They are great for resting your cold, wet feet on if the fire isn't too hot. What is this round wooden pressing mechanism from an old kitchen? It appears to have a pattern on the bottom and a pressing mechanism at the top that drives a rod downward. Is it for marking food? It's an antique butter mold. It was patented on April 17, 1866 by John S. Bullard of Chagrin Falls, Ohio. In 1842, the first mayor of Chagrin Falls, Ohio, Curtis Bullard, formed a company that made spinning wheels, wooden rolling pins, and kitchen products. In 1866, Curtis and 2 of his sons, Orson and John, obtained a patent for a product that would change their businesses and their fortunes, the butter mold. At that time, freshly churned butter was packed in wooden butter molds. After the butter cooled enough to hold its shape, it was removed from the mold and wrapped in waxed paper to be sold. Bullard molds had a plunger to push out butter after it became firm. In just over a decade, their company would lead the nation's production with 125,000 molds churned out annually at their factory along the south side of the Chagrin River. What is this thing that looks like a handbell, but there is no clapper? The bottom has a flat, shiny surface, and the handle unscrews from the bell to reveal something like the top of a salt shaker. My grandfather loves thrift stores. He bought this at a thrift store in Missouri several years ago. It has become a sort of tradition to speculate on its purpose each year at family gatherings. My grandparents display the object proudly and use it as a conversation starter for everyone who visits their home, trying to figure out what it is. At first glance, it looks like a shiny handbell with a wooden handle. Any ideas on what this could be? It's a cocktail shaker, also called the town crier bell shaker, because of a bowl attached to the inside handle end which rings as you shake it to make your drink. It was patented on December 14th, 1937 by Bruce de Montmorency of Pelham, New York, for the National Silver Deposit Ware Company. It's handled like a dinner bell, it has a clapper inside, and can ring like a dinner bell when empty, inviting folks to come and get it. It holds 28 ounces, the handle tip unscrews, and you can pour the drink unspillingly from the top. What is this red glass light I found while metal detecting in the middle of some woods, about a mile from the nearest body of water? No markings of any kind, sadly. Someone else suggested it might be a navigation light for an aircraft. If anyone recognizes it, I would like to know. It's a tail light from a 1930s Cadillac. It's typical of the futuristic look at the time when everything was derived from rocket ships. Rocket style was big in cars, and pointed tail lights were common. Definitely a cool find. What is this thing I found in my dad's garage? It's old, and it looks like it can be attached to something to make it spin. It has a blade on the bottom for scoring, or cutting maybe. Any idea what it would have been used for? It's a 1920s adjustable hollow auger, made in the US by the Millers Falls Company of Greenfield, Massachusetts. It is designed to be powered by a conventional hand-operated drill brace in order to cut the tenons on chair rungs that fit into the holes drilled into the legs. The rung must be secured in a vise and sharpened a bit to get it started into the desired size aperture. Then it remains a matter of turning the drill handle to power this tool to carve the tenon. Here's a Millers Falls catalog from January 1925 with this tool. What is this steel clamp type thing? It has Progressive Machinery Company, Minneapolis, Minnesota stamped on the bottom, about 8 inches wide and 8 inches tall, and has 2 clamps on either end, and appears like it might hold a cable or pipe of some sort. I could not find anything related to the company stamp online, and not sure what this could be. Any ideas? It's an antique ice skate sharpener vise. The knob in the center turns to adjust the angle. It was patented as skate holder on January 23, 1917 by Joseph Henry Faradawil of St. Paul, Minnesota. What is this thing made of brown metal, like brass or copper with wooden knobs? It was found over 35 years ago, and we still can't confirm what it is for. About 3 feet tall, it has a metal wheel crank with a wooden handle, with a valved spout at the bottom, and a German or Austrian label at the bottom. I've tried to search for what is on the label on Google, but concluded with no results. Any idea what this is and what it is used for? It's a commercial coffee maker or espresso machine. It grinds the beans and brews the coffee, a one-stop shop. It was made in Germany, circa 1900. It is a very rare find. I found this old letter by the company reaching out to a potential client, trying to sell them a Kaffeeextraktanlage or a coffee extraction apparatus. Here is another postcard advertisement from the company for the newest fondant tabbing machine. It appears that the company sold specialized food production machinery of various kinds. They made furnishing for commercial kitchens in hotels, cafes, and patisseries and were established in 1850. They seem to have gone out of business shortly after 1933, or at least they weren't listed in the address book for businesses from 1934, where they had been listed the years prior. You may or may not remember, but in the movie Saving Private Ryan, in the town where they made their stand, Captain Miller, Tom Hanks, found one similar in France but didn't know what it was. Theirs was made from silver, this one is brass. In that era, there were many versions of it. What is this thing found within a box of junk I won at an auction several years ago in the Great Lakes area? I was bidding on some old tools, and it was within a lot that contained a vintage woodworking brace, a wooden case containing old drill bits, a vintage Bacharach thermometer, and 2 Bacharach draft-right gauges. It's made of metal and approximately 14 centimeters long. 2 pieces are coupled together and spin endlessly around where they are joined. The notch tip does not spin with the rest. Centered in the notch is a hole of unknown depth. It's lightweight and stamped, pat-penned. I have asked friends, relatives, and Google for assistance in identifying this thing, all to no avail. Can you help me identify what this thing is? Please tell us down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.